For the vast majority of you, I'm stating the obvious this morning. For a few of you, maybe you've just rolled out of bed and the first thing you want to listen to is my voice. That would be sad. Anyway, we have a good market this morning. The President of the United States said, "Hey, it's okay. We've got lots of time. We're going to keep this November date in place, but the reality is we're going to be doing some negotiating, and don't worry about it." It's basically he even said, "Don't worry about it." So we have solid markets this morning. Tesla back up around 424. Last time I checked, of course, we'll do that at the end again and see just where we are. Let's see. We begin with CPA in New York City. I'm sorry, NYC, if you want to look them up. More and more Tesla price targets coming in above 500. Now, Melius with a $520 target. Look at that. Now, I want to ask you a couple of questions. This morning, I have a bunch of stuff in here. I'm going to change it up just a little bit because Grok is getting so good. Most of the time, I'm just bringing you news stories that I find that I think are the most important. And when I see those, and I'm not going to change that at all, I'm still going to look at every single news resource that I use and bring you absolutely the coolest stuff I can find. But I'm also going to start using Grok. You may have noticed this over the last week. I'm going to use Grok more and more to actually bring you original reporting based on my ability to prompt well. Anyway, I prompted this morning. I said, "Hey, Grok." No, this was not actually a Grok prompt. This is just out of my own brain. So watch out for this. This could be absolute nonsense. Do you know of any other stocks where respected analysts are projecting a 7x over the next 4 years? How many stocks do you know where there are multiple respected analysts with the 7x? Okay. Do you know any other stock where the founder CEO is investing $1 billion into the company and projecting future value at 20 times current values? Well, first of all, you don't know any CEO who has invested $1 billion because that's never happened before. Did you know that? That's the largest amount that a founder CEO has ever invested. And the 20 times current value, I think there's a good chance that's never happened before, ever in history. Well, what other profitable top 10, not a top 10 company, it's got to be top 10 on the S&P and currently profitable, has ever sold consistently at a PE multiple above 100? I don't think that's ever happened before. You can go look, but I didn't ask Rock, but I'm almost 100% sure that it's never happened before. Now, other than General Electric, have you ever known any other company that has had substantial and growing sales in transportation, energy, automation, and robotics? All of those. And I would add in AI, except AI didn't exist 3 years ago. And so, well, it's been around, but I mean, the real AI started about 2.5 years ago. And so, also, most people, almost anybody paying attention says that the company that has the greatest chance to make the most profits of AI is Tesla. Do you know of any other company right now with new products being released that have a higher TAM than the Semi, the Robotaxi, and Optimus? Three different products. I mean, the semi truck, the TAM on it, we've talked about it here. We think that, Brian Wang and I think that the potential sales are 400 billion. Now, maybe we're off by a factor of two. Maybe it's only 200 billion. I don't think there's anybody out there right now that's got a new product coming out where the TAM is 200 billion. Anyway, I could be wrong. Elon Musk posted on X yesterday. He says, "Wait till you see what Tesla does with Optimus." Speaking of, yeah. So then I did ask Grok about the average increase for China sales in quarter 4 compared to quarter 3. Can you believe it? It's 44% over the last 4 years. The worst of the last 4 years was a 21% increase. And that would bring us to about 90,000 units in China, greater than quarter 3. I think that would probably make up for any losses in the United States. And now people are saying, hey, maybe there won't be that many losses because we just did a new performance and we've just added the standards. In China, the 90,000 units becomes even more likely because of the Model Y/L. Europe is getting the standard, and so that might help Europe. And we don't know yet whether China is going to get the standard. Anyway, I think we will see overall 20% increase in China, and that should really help. Now, confirming what I just said, is a report from Reuters this morning. It said Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory, its largest manufacturing hub globally, has begun production ramp up in the fourth quarter, according to Tesla Vice President Tao Lin in a Weibo post on Monday. So I'm thinking China's looking good for the fourth quarter. What about NISTA? I mean, this is, a very great concern. Everybody has this great concern. Keep in mind, will you, that now that Trump and Elon are back together again, Trump doesn't have to like walk over or pick up the phone or send a text over to the head of NISTA. I can't say it. He doesn't have to actually say anything to the guy. He knows without being told that he's supposed to treat Tesla fairly, reasonably, and possibly even a little, favorably. The actual bias will be hard to know, but it will not be in a negative direction. And so I think we'll soon see some really good stuff out of NISTA. Troy Teslike. Now, what I did on this one is I asked Grok. I said, how is this Troy Teslike guy do? Is he accurate at all? So I said, what about go back 20 quarters and compare what Troy says on the first day of the quarter to what actually happens at the end of the quarter, as opposed to what he says on the last day of the quarter. Well, so Grok was nice and gave me that too. The average change from the first to the last prediction is actually negative 6,860 units. Can you believe it? He actually has been reducing more than he's been increasing over the last 20 quarters. Now, it turns out that he should stick with his first guess. I'm sorry, his first guess. I like Troy. I promote him on this channel all the time. And so this is good for Troy. He should be happy that I'm saying everything that I'm saying here. So his first estimate is actually his best estimate because he's averaged 5,140 units low on his last estimate compared to reality. So if you take those two in balance, what he is estimating on his first estimate at the beginning of the month is super accurate. Now, having said that, unfortunately, his estimate right now for this quarter is only at 428. And I'm thinking this is going to be the exception. Now, what happens is, though, when Tesla is increasing in sales, he tends to be low at the beginning and tends to increase it as he goes along. When Tesla is going down in sales, he tends to be high and reduces it as he goes along. So I'm thinking this is one of those periods where we're going up because of new products, if nothing else, because of new products. And so I'm thinking his 428 is going to be low. Of course, in the consensus currently is 439. And of course, Randy and Brian and many others are saying it could be 500 plus. Well, then I went to Grok and I said, look, okay, what's happening with the FSD 14.1.1? Because that's the most critical issue right now. And so he gives 12 things. He went and looks at everybody, whatever they're saying on 14.1.1, and he comes back with these 12. 0 interventions and extended drives. Multiple users completed hours-long trips, 3 hours through busy cities, highways, and parking lots with no disengagements, handling everything from freeway merges to urban navigation flawlessly. Has mastery of parking garages and lots. The system excels at entering, exiting gated garages, waiting for the ticket arm and pulling precisely to the ticket machines, navigating complex multi-level structures, finding exiting spots, even in unlabeled or crowded areas. It's often described as sentient or mind-bending. It is smoother inputs overall, but lingering jerkiness of steering and braking feel more linear and human-like than prior versions, with reduced stutter. Yet some report occasional harsh braking, hesitation at low speeds near pedestrians and objects, or wild steering occasions, oscillations when indecisive. That's that thing like this. You've probably experienced it if you have FSD. Improved speed control and profiles. Acceleration is quicker. Speed holds steady without drooping, and new modes like hurry and sloth allow customization. Users praise the natural pacing on highways and city streets. Proactive edge case handling. FSD anticipates rare events exceptionally well, such as rerouting around 100 plus cyclists, dodging cones and wood on dark roads, yielding to emergency vehicles, and early braking to prevent collisions, even averting a crash at a blind intersection. Precise law obedience and situational awareness. It strictly follows rules like no right on red, slows for school zone speed bumps, and slows memory-like intuition. And shows memory-like intuition, better lane choices to avoid camping in left lanes or predicting traffic gaps. It has human-like confidence in merges and turns. Merges onto freeways are insanely smooth at optimal speeds. Unprotected lefts and roundabouts are handled with nuance, and it often outperforms humans in assertive yet safe maneuvers. It's overcautious the overcautiousness is a double-edged sword. Heightened sensitivity to pedestrians, potential hazards, or workers leads to abrupt stops or indecisions. It's improving safety, but it's causing a little discomfort and jerkiness. We've talked about that. Arrival and parking features shine. Robotaxi provide options like curbside drop-off, precise supercharger alignment, backing into spots feel magical and superior to most humans. However, can loop endlessly in full lots without finding spots requiring intervention. I also saw one situation where somebody said that it went into a supercharger. It was crowded, and a lot of people, were walking around in some of the available spots. So it went to the easiest one to get into. Global rollout success, especially in Australia, right-hand drive users report near perfect performance in challenging local conditions with hook turns, rain, road work, 700 plus kilometer trips with 99.9 reliability, calling it life-changing and stress-free. Closer to unsupervised, but needs polishing. Features like variable attention monitoring and fast startup hint at reduced supervision needs, yet comfort lags behind V13 for some, not for everybody. Some people are saying, no, they think it's just fine. Users urge tweaks for the hesitation and wish for model picker to toggle versions. So maybe have it say, well, I'm not gonna slow down for some of these hazards. Broad consensus on transformative potential, despite minor gripes like late lane changes or roundabout indicators. The consensus is overwhelmingly positive. FSD feels alive, prevents accidents, and makes driving relaxing and fun with rapid improvements expected soon. This is Randy Kirk, and you know exactly what you should do if you appreciate the channel. You should push like, subscribe, and notify. And then, you should join Patreon. But believe me, if you join Patreon now, I'm still going to give you the free book, all right? But I know, in a couple of days, I'll tell you what the deal is on the book. In the overall news section this morning, it is really, really important to be thankful for what is happening in the Middle East and to contemplate it because in almost all of history, we've never had this. If we get a stable peace and we get more countries to sign off to the Abraham Accords, we can truly say that nothing like this has happened in millennia. I mean, thousands and thousands of years. Now, what does it mean for Trump? No one should underestimate Trump, and they shouldn't underestimate the U.S. The U.S. and Trump are super powerful on the world stage right now. And it's not so much about our military might as it has been in the past, though it's certainly important given the sorry state of Europeans' defenses without the U.S. But it's really more about our our economic might, and in particular with regard to Europeans' terrible situation with regard to their economics, other than Turkey and Poland. One thing to think about is Trump has done this, and he's done it through something that a lot of people don't like. It's his bully and then back off approach. There are lots of ways to manage things like people and businesses and relationships, and this is one of them. I mean, for instance, Reagan had a much softer approach with still being a super great negotiator. But if you'll remember during the Reagan years, for those of you who are old enough to actually have watched it, the left was as absolutely horrified by Reagan as they are by Trump. They really were. It was really ridiculous, crazy. They wouldn't give him a break to save his life. And he was a nice, gentle guy. Very, very funny also. And, kind and at all times. I mean, he didn't raise his voice. He didn't bully. He just took a stance and stuck by it. So you can like the Trump approach. I don't think you should worry too much about what the left is going to say about it because it doesn't matter. We will continue to see advantages to the Trump approach going forward. I suspect we're going to see it will become even more evident on the domestic scene as more and more moderates and traditional liberals get red-pilled. It's happening like crazy in the Silicon Valley. The left is not doing themselves any favor right now either with their incessant lying. I mean, it's really crazy. And their theatrical approach rather than providing solid policy alternatives. It's not good. We'll know a lot more over the next 6 months as the economic efforts begin to show even more obvious fruit. Now, I watch the numbers like a hawk. I'm all over them. If you listen, you hear what I'm doing every single day. And right now we have overall sales that look good. We have a GDP increase that looks great. We have predicted earnings that look better than good. We have a strong stock market. We have falling inflation. We have falling interest rates. We have the lowest mortgage rates at 6.23 that we've had in years, and we have a stable labor market. No matter what anybody tells you, that sounds good to me, but it's going to get better. All of those things are going to improve. I do believe we're going to need to pivot on immigration at some point, but I suspect that Trump is not going to do it until after the midterms because he doesn't want to anger his base. But we're going to start having a labor shortage. I think I can be confident in saying that. Trump might be having lots more better information than I do for sure. And when he looks at the number of people that are not being hired in government, when he looks at with a little bit of a labor slowdown out there because of AI, maybe he's figuring that we're kind of in balance right now as we send people home. And that makes more opportunities for Americans to get jobs. So maybe he's got a balancing act going on here. I wouldn't put it past him because he is super, super smart on this stuff. Trump has suggested using industry-specific visas, but so far he hasn't done any of that. And I don't know, maybe again, he's hearing it just isn't absolutely necessary. We'll see. That's my take on the subject. Take it for what it's worth. All right, we've got the true inflation this morning at 2.24 overnight. We've got that at 2.16 year over year. It has been fluctuating around 2% now for months. And so I think that's pretty solid. I think we can pretty well take it to the bank. Trump's numbers come in at 51% this morning. And now we can look at the financial numbers. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. Let's go on. We'll start with where is Tesla at this point? Right where we said it was a minute ago, 423.16. That is up 2.34%. And it has been as high, I think, as around 425 and change. The Dow is up 0.86. The NASDAQ is up 1.71. That's a good number, and it has been higher. Everybody's trimming their gains this morning. S&P, though, still up, even after trimming gains, 1.17% at 6,629. Got a long way to go. Got 100 points to go to get back to where it was. All right, we've got all of the Magnificent Seven are all up this morning, although, again, all trimming their highs. And then we've got the Cathie Woods. Some of those have now actually gone back in a negative territory by a little. But overall, it's mixed for Cathie Wood stock. Now, we got no bond market this morning, so we can't blame it on the bond market. All right, because it's Columbus Day, no bond market today. Okay, let's look at what's happening with the rest of the financial numbers. We have got gold. Gold is up $114 this morning to 4,114.80. Well, I might get this one wrong. Well, I've already gotten it wrong, but my written down anarcho my X statement was it would see 3,400, but before it would see 4,400. I've still got that one. But I certainly didn't think we'd be at 4,116. Silver up this morning, 6.28%. Now at $50.24, going up like this. Bank of America said this morning that they think that silver is going, I think, if I remember right, to 80. I think it was 80. Silver's going to 80 from 50, and it's already up dramatically. We got copper up 4.86 this morning, back up to $5.13, getting very, very close to recent highs. We have got oil up 89 cents at almost $60, which is still really, really good for the inflation numbers. We got natural gas down 0.52 at $3.09. The dollar is, as it is almost every day, it's mixed. I really haven't done that analysis yet. I'll try to remember to do it today. We have got Bitcoin up only 156 this morning, but it went up a lot over the weekend, back up to 114,450, but still way off $10,000. It's hard to say that. $10,000 off of its all-time high. And we got Ethereum down a little bit, 0.18. Again, it was up over the weekend. All right, that's what we have this morning. What do we have later today? Later today, we have got Larry Goldberg, probably around 3-ish, 3:30, something like that. Then we got Brian White around 7. Last night, if you didn't see it yet, go back and check it out. I had CERN Basher on for another special. And what we talked about is the debasement trade. I was like, what is debasement? Is it something that, where you've got your special sauna and maybe a couple of really cool men's man caves? Anyway, the debasement trade, it has to do with the fact that you need to really be making over 7% on your money if you want to stay up with I know, I understand it now. And if you gave me 5 minutes, I'm not going to take 5 minutes right now. I could probably explain it really well now, but CERN did a fantastic job on it. Everybody's talking about debasement. Everybody. I mean, we got article after article. So it is a trending idea. If you didn't see that yesterday, go check it out right here. That's all I got for you right now. It has been great talking to you.